Film Dive Podcast.
And it was just sequel after sequel after sequel.
There was no character development at all.
Just that on pure technical levels.
There are filmmakers that don't want it just to be an entertainment experience.
Hello and welcome to Media Academy Online, Film Dive Podcast. Today we're going to be continuing on with our live action film blended with animation. And this is our third in the series and final.
Third and final trilogy.
The trilogy. And we've gone in consecutive times. So Roger Rabbit, Space Jam, and now
Osmosis Jones. This is an interesting one because it's an unknown for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It kind of was there and then...
It just disappeared. It was definitely no Space Jam. Or what? It was definitely no Roger Rabbit for, the general public.
It didn't have that same appeal
No.
for a lot of it, right? Because it's a very interesting story. So we should probably begin about the story where normally there's like these worlds, but this is kind of like a world within a body.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thing. And I watched this film in school. I watched this in science class.
Mm-hmm.
I did remember when I first saw it, I thought this is a very interesting concept. How can we explain the human body to people?
Without
How can we
grossing
explain
them
what
out.
that is without how do we do it in a way that's entertaining,
Yeah.
that can try and explain it without just literally being a documentary kind of thing?
Or if not, a rip-off of Inner Space. Did you ever see Inner Space?
No.
Dennis Quaid and Martin Short about the little team going inside the human body.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now, this one, it's very interesting because they had a lot of liberties, a lot of creative liberties, I suppose, in depicting how the body works.
Yeah.
Where in this, it's almost like they create it like it's a world, like it's almost feels like another planet where you've got like roads and you've got cars and police cars and all of this stuff.
I loved it. I thought it was a great idea.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting. Very.
I don't care what they do with the human body. Just go nuts. Have fun with it.
And this was the idea, and I guess the concept is, and it's very apt, I guess, for current. The idea is about this virus that tries to come into the body and how the body reacts when a virus comes in and all that kind of stuff. So it's very...
It's like a police procedural kind of thing set up as well, because there's like investigation going on.
Yeah.
Almost like Roger Rabbit, bit of that noirish, but more police buddy cop thing going on. Because you get the main cop, who's played by Chris Rock, and then the suppressant. It's called the suppressant.
Sure.
Drix, played by David Hyde Pierce, who's Frasier's brother off Frasier. So Niles. So you got some good voice talent there. And directed by the live action scenes are directed by the Farrelly brothers, who are known for doing Something About Mary, Dumb and Dumber, gross out kind of humor stuff. Yep. And then you had two other guys doing the animation parts. So it's 4 people in total directing this film.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He's very different in the other two in that it's all but one scene they were very segmented, and that you'd have one scene that was full animation in a animated world.
Yep, it's not doing what Space Jam did or what
it
Roger
wasn't
Rabbit did.
Literally blending the two, except for one scene when the pimple pops, and then you can sort of see. That was the only one scene where they had the blend of the two.
Yeah.
But other than that scene,
it was pretty separate.
But it was still using the two worlds as a cohesive story, which was still very interesting to approach. And I enjoyed this for that time when I watched it, in that it was able to try and explain something in a different way.
It's very fun.
The animation, although it's it's nothing amazing,
it's not,
but it's just very clever how they were able to depict so many things in the human body.
Yeah.
Like you'd have the human body is almost different locations. And the underarms, you got all the guys hanging out in the spa.
Yeah, like the criminal underworld sort of figures. Yeah.
Which is
like mafioso kind of guys. I love it because, like we said in Space Jam, I think Bill Murray. They get Bill Murray in again. I mean, he was asked to play in Roger Rabbit. He featured in Space Jam 'cause he's friends with Michael Jordan. And he's actually the main sort of dude that the body, this story is taking place in.
Yeah.
So what is it with Bill Murray that everyone likes?
Yeah.
I mean, I love Bill Murray.
Yeah. I think he did really well in
He
this
does.
film.
I mean, he works really well. There's something about him. He like, it's almost like, the thing about Bill Murray is he almost doesn't, it appears that he doesn't need to put any effort in, and it just naturally comes off as he just works on camera. Just him. I don't know if it's him acting or if it's him just being him.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It just seems so natural when Bill Murray does stuff on camera.
Yep.
No matter how ridiculous or stupid it may be, it just works. It's almost like he doesn't give a f***.
Yeah. there's a lot of performances you get from people that are so serious and that you almost expect a serious performance out of them. But he's one of those ones that disarms you in his approach to his acting.
Yeah. Because it's a good way of putting it. Because it's like, some actors overact. Some other actors just underact.
Yeah.
And he's somewhere in the midst of all that.
Yeah. And you know where you can watch him and you don't have to prepare yourself for something so serious or something really deep or something that's, you can just watch it and then it's not going to go too far out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, it's this kind of thing.
Yeah. But that story in itself, like, there's almost like two stories going on. There's a story within his body.
That's right.
And there's a story with him and his daughter. And that was...
Zookeeper.
I think that was a really nice story.
Great way to put it.
It was a really nice, simple, heartwarming, at the end, a nice, heartwarming story. You've got this simple outward story outside of his body, and then you've got this more complex story. Still simple, but it's a little bit more complex. It's going on within inside his body. So, very interesting.
Some funny stuff about this film. First and foremost, the film was a bomb.
Yeah, it was terrible.
14 million it made against a 70 million budget. Though it later recouped a lot through video and all that. And a spin-off television series was developed. It's just interesting because it was the two characters in this film were exited out of Bill Murray's body for the series by a mosquito and then put into a teenage boy. So how gross is that?
Oh my God. Yeah, okay.
It. But yeah, it's just crazy how they just did that, instead of just setting it in someone else completely different, they want to use it. Yeah. Crazy.
Bizarre.
And you've also got voice actors by Lawrence Fishburne and William Shatner. I love the use of William Shatner. He plays like the mayor. I love William Shatner's voice. I can listen to him all day. Maybe not all day, but it's just great. But I just love the animation in this film. The way they make the human body seem like a alien planet, or
it really felt like that. Like it was out of this world. And it had that feel to it.
And what do you call them? Like all the cells and all the characters, if you will. Just really cool take on how to do something for sort of older kids, not old kids, but like kids around 10 years to 12 or maybe 8,
and have a purpose for it. It was trying to sort of explain things in a different way, and we have to commend him for that, at least giving it a crack, even though it was financially a flop. And it was clearly they were going for a spiritual successor to those other films.
Yep.
And it didn't work in this case.
There was a film that came out in like the 60s, not 70s, maybe 60s, about going into the human body. And that was a great film. My mum got us to watch that. And Inner Space, the 80s one as well.
Right.
So you got to see them. You really do. You got to see both of them because they are really cool, especially the 80s one now. But they both have merit. And this film is basically a love letter to those as well. Going inside the human body, not making it too gross.
I think when they got it right, where they didn't try and make everything, that the realism wasn't there, where they're trying to literally depict, okay, we've got to make sure that this looks like a heart, or this looks like a lung, or this looks like a... They had some creative liberties on it. Yeah, they had some creative liberties on how do we explain this, but in the form of a planet. This
alien
new environment that we're creating, in this form of this whole ecosystem, the planet within yourself, this whole world within yourself.
Yeah.
and trying to create that in an environment that is in 3D space. So it's not just flat. We're in real world. We're primarily on a flat surface, and we go up a little bit, but not much. But this is saying, all right, we're going to utilize that y-axis as well.
Yeah. I love that.
I liked at the end where they condemned the bad virus, and then just the little joke at the end where there's a button and he says, don't press this. He goes and presses the button he shouldn't press. What does this button do? And then the guy farts him out. Fart jokes.
At their best.
Yeah.
The soundtrack, very R&B, that early 2000s, 90s sort of feel to it, and I love it. It works with it. You got Chris Rock in there, so you got that urban thing going on, the African American thing going on, which works very well with it. Also, Inside Out, the Pixar film, is almost like another take on this type of film.
It's that world within yourself.
And Soul, that's about to come out as well. So this sort of idea is something that comes out every 10 years or so.
And it's funny when you think about this film. It was such a flop. It's interesting because I look back on it and I enjoyed it for what it was. It's not a masterpiece.
It's not a classic like Space Jam.
No, it wasn't.
Or whatnot,
it doesn't have that same sort of
appeal
thing.
or.
But I watched it, enjoyed it for what it was. There's a lot of worse films that did better than this one did, but I almost think this one was probably just it just came out too late.
Yeah.
If this came out in 95,
98. Yeah.
This would have been huge.
This came out in 97, 1 year after Space Jam.
And I just think it was a bit too late. We'd already started moving on at this stage onto different
CG
things. And that's the thing. Timing is such a big deal when it comes to film.
I'm sure when they were making it, because it would have taken at least 2 years to make.
Yeah, they would have had to get it up and running.
So like 98, they might have started. Maybe they had the concept straight after. Maybe they had the concept earlier on, and it just
took
didn't
them
get
too
happening.
long to
get it out. Well, it got good reception overall. It's got mixed reviews and stuff like that. Some people love it, some people don't. Roger Ebert gave the film 3 stars out of 4.
Yeah, okay.
So it's not like it was, completely obliterated.
I mean, I watched it the only reason why I saw it was, because I saw it in science, but they really could have lent on, schools on this one. Tried something different and really got all the schools to go and see it or something.
Just like how I went and saw Space Jam.
Yeah. So I guess if we start finishing up now, I guess my reflection on it, I was a bit old at this stage, but I did still, enjoy it for what it was. I'm not going to say it's my favourite film of all time, but for what it was, I think it was, did what it had to do.
I'd be surprised if anyone did say it's their favourite film of all time.
I'm not going to hate on it because it did a lot well. It did a lot. It told its story well.
It's got Bill Murray in it. What more do you need?
The story wasn't too complicated, and it tried to explain something. And I think people that give things a try, I think we need to commend that.
It's just kind of those. This film for me was one of those pleasant surprises when I think it was much better than what I was anticipating.
Yeah.
Because I think at this time I was so I was transitioning away from 2D animation at this time in my life.
Yeah.
And I was just like, nah, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm done with all that.
But I think that's the thing with the whole industry at this stage had started to turn away from 2D.
The way we all perceived 2D at this time was it's dated, it's done, it's had its dash, Shrek and whatever is coming out, and so look, it's great. I'm still kind of spun out by the film because the Farrelly brothers involved in a kids film, and Bill Murray as well, and just the element, Chris Rock, these guys, they've done kid stuff as well, but it's just the concept and the people involved is what really kind of surprises me. Yeah. And the film is a surprise as well.
Finishing up, I think it's something that I think someone should at least give a crack, give it a go. Even if it doesn't seem like something you'd ever want to watch, and it doesn't. Really. If you look at
fucking Osmosis.
The poster art, the characters, nothing really jumps out as saying, oh my God, I have to see this. Nothing. And that's probably the reason why it didn't do so well.
It's not
Nothing-
groundbreaking
yeah.
really on any level.
And I think even just the name itself doesn't really give enough away about what it is.
I think that's one of the main flaws of that is the name. Like, it's a interesting name, Osmosis
Yeah.
Jones, but
They could have done something. I don't know
Something
what you
to-
would have called it. The land within us or the world, something. I don't know.
Yeah. Within us, inside out. No, I don't know.
Well, inside out, that's very provocative. Like that
Yeah.
tells you a lot in inside
It's
out.
almost got a bit of that grossy kind of feel
Yeah,
to it too.
but
Until Pixar
I think maybe
hijacked
it comes to marketing.
Yeah, I think marketing. the
Anyway,
concept, yeah,
we'll leave it there anyway. So make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell.
it's been fun. Can't wait to get back to some more animated stuff in
Yeah.
the future. But for now, we're going to go back to live action film for a bit. Don't know what we're going to cover next, but we're going to
Watch this space.
watch this space.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time. Adios.